You know what I feel when I experience a story with wasted potential? First, I think about copyright law. I think about how in the States it takes decades for a work to enter public domain so that reimaginings of a piece may be presented to the public. I think about how stories are stifled, made formulaic for an attempt at ensured profit. That fan fiction is always limited in quality or resources or obscurity. How the ability to create and share a masterpiece is gate-kept. String theory says that there are other worlds out there. My diary. And the thought of not having access to a version of something like Wish, but with love sewn into it, makes me feel heartbroken.
Why not make your own story, then?
As I was saying, I nurtured hope within me that people were being pessimistic about this film. Within the first few minutes, I knew I was wrong, but certain points still made me cling. I cannot say that I hate this emerging pattern of Disney movies taking random and little-known science facts and weaving them into a narrative. Water having memory being incorporated into Frozen 2, regardless of how I feel about the rest of the film, still impresses me. That we are all made from star stuff appearing in this film piqued my interest, but all we got out of it was a horrible music number and setup for a small callback in the third act. There was so much that could have been done with the idea, but it is evident that the whole movie's premise is an allusion to when you wish upon a star and not much else. They even shoehorn in a moral of never stop wishing in the end. Ariana DeBose voicing Asha, however, was too good for this movie. She put every bit of pride to this thing that is attached to her name, and it shows. If I ever revisit this movie, it will be for her performance and her performance alone. It's outside world. Immigrants of Rosas know that they cannot make their dreams come true. Out there. He is never challenged on this, only his philosophy. No one disagrees with this. The main point of conflict is that Asha believes that he should return wishes that he won't grant, like her Saba's, who wants to make something to inspire a generation. Even though that wish is only expressed in the form of music, which is not acknowledged. Asha makes the valid point that these are parts of their hearts that are not being returned, but the movie fails to recognize that Magnifico has a point too. The way that others talk about the world outside of Rosas. You would think that it was burning all around them. People voluntarily trust their wishes to the king to keep them safe. And in exchange, they get the chance to have it granted and live in a peaceful, prosperous kingdom that is unlike the terrors they fled. The granting of wishes is never guaranteed, and Asha fails to understand that there is such a thing as a terrible desire. Someone's heart can truly yearn for the same destruction that the people of Rosas fled. It is this very elephant in the room that is ignored for the sake of the movie continuing at its own leisure. The villain himself is forced into corners by the narrative. Why does he need a new apprentice? You mean to tell me no one noticed his tyrannical tendencies, including his wife? Until now? The more the film progresses, the more I think that Amaya and her background should have been the focal point rather than Asha. Everything is glossed over when it comes to her. The man she loves is a stranger. She is not allowed to mourn. The writers decide that forbidden magic's effects are irreversible, and she has no reaction. She says in a song that she was blinded by love. She sentenced her husband to the dungeon without a hint that there was ever anything between them. Magnifico begins to threaten her, abuse her, terrorize her, and all we get is fear. Not confusion, not heartbreak, just a flat character of a woman. She was done the dirtiest by Wish, second to Asha, who was made to forgive a fake friend that betrayed her and the kingdom for selfish reasons, while tolerating about 5 other fake friends in the process. Isn't Disney meant to be the pinnacle of animated art? If I wanted to see visual media that was lazily comfortable in its lack of quality because of its brand, I wouldn't want to go to Disney. I would turn to Miraculous Ladybug instead.